An event like this can never happen again in the Penn State University community. We, the Penn State Board of Trustees, failed in our obligation to provide proper oversight of the university's operations. To be absolutely clear again, we are accountable for what's happened here. At the moment of truth, people who are in a position to protect children and to confront a predator, including people at the highest levels of responsibility in the university, specifically Graham Spanier, Joe Paterno, Tim Curley, and Gary Schultz, did not put the welfare of children first. You should know that our hearts remain heavy, and we are deeply ashamed.
The Board of Trustees, as a group that has paramount accountability for overseeing and ensuring the proper functioning and governance of the university, accepts full responsibility for the failures that occurred. The board, in cooperation with the administration, will take every action to ensure that an event like this never happens again in our university community. And above all, we must restore trust in our community. We don't expect it to happen overnight. We will earn it back as we move forward and develop a culture of transparency and accountability.
Penn State University intends to be a constructive leader in preventing, reporting, and responding to such abuse. This is a problem that plagues our nation, and we have a special duty to increase awareness, prevention, and treatment of child sexual abuse.
We are not intending to resign. We believe that we have a natural kind of evolution of the board by the fact that many new members join every year. We think that consistency is important, and we think that many of the things that we just talked about that are needed to strengthen the university and strengthen the future of the board are already in process. We believe that the stability of the university and what's important is that we now really get going on what needs to be done. We think that by taking the accountability that we just said that we own, that's the first step. And now we have to follow it through and implement as effectively as we can, as quickly as we can. The report is new. We're just, seeing it. We saw it for the first time today. You can be sure that we'll be digesting further below the 4 people who were already named who knew what. The whole topic of Joe Paterno being honored or not being honored is a very sensitive topic, as I think everybody's aware, and it's been something that's been dialogued for some time. We believe that with the report's findings, that this is something that will need to continue to be discussed with the entire university community. This is not just a board decision. I think our reaction is that the clarity that's come out of the report would show that 61 years of excellent service that Joe gave to the university is now marred. And we have to step back and say, what does that mean? And I don't know if you want to add to that.
Yeah, I'll say this. I think that there's no question that what the report finds is inexcusable failures on the part of Joe Paterno and others to protect children. There's no equivocation about that. But I'd also say that Joe Paterno did a lot of tremendous things in his life, and there's a lot about his life that's worth emulating. So if you try to sum it up, I say you have to measure every human by the good they've done, the bad they've done. I don't think any of us wants to be measured by the worst things we've ever done in our life. I'm not trying to make light of what we've learned in the report. At the same time, though, I would say that if you want to measure the man's life, you have to measure both all the tremendous things that he did, including demonstrating for years the ability to have large numbers of football players at a very high level of athletic prowess graduate at this university. His support of the academic life of this university are all things that have to be considered. So again, I don't think that any one of us wants to be judged only by the worst things that we've done, and I think we have to take some time, we have to take some reflection and some distance before we start making decisions about how we will think about Joe Paterno's entire life and entire body of work.
The report mentioned a trustee that did ask some questions of President Spanier on this. Who is that trustee?
We're not clear, because we haven't had a chance to study the timing in the report. We're not clear what the time frame was, whether that was actually in November. Okay, so we just haven't had a chance to kind of sort that all together, and we'll figure that out.
But certainly, we want to take a look at all aspects of our culture here, not just football culture, but all aspects of our culture, to see that we have in place the proper safeguards, the proper oversight, the proper accountability that will prevent something like this from happening again at the university. Now that we have Judge Freeh's report, we're in a much better position to respond to the list of questions that Dr. Emmert sent us at that point, and we will be doing so over the course of the next several weeks. But other